हेलो वेलकम टू बचपन के पिटारे से So the march is ending, and before it ends, I would love to read a beautiful story of an empowered woman from the pre-independent era. So I would love to read out this story because when I read it first, I had goosebumps. I did not know about her. So, what a celebration of womanhood would it be to read and know about this lady? So, the story I'm reading from the book Folklore that has been published by Story Circle Edusarthi, and the story has been written by Yogita Ahuja. The name of the story and the main character of the story is Bibi Gulab Kaur. Let's begin. In 1913, when Ghaddar's own newspaper, Ghadari, was printed weekly in San Francisco, USA, this advertisement was found in the Wanted column of one of its early editions. Wanted? Enthusiastic and heroic soldiers for organizing. Remuneration? Death. Reward? Martyrdom. Pension? Freedom. Field of work? Hindustan. Year 1914, place Manila, Philippines. Bibi Gulab Kaur and her husband, Bhai Man Singh, were residents of a small village in Sangrur district of pre-independence Punjab. They managed to flee to Manila, Philippines, with the ultimate dream of flying to America in pursuit of an economically brighter future. Far away from their own land, which was marred with atrocities of Fulkian chiefs who were closely aligned with British forces. Upon reaching Manila, they had to wait alongside many other Indians who, like them, nurtured a desire and hope to settle in America. It was during this waiting period when one day the couple happened to be at an Indian gathering led by Ghadar Revolution leaders. They were Indians settled in America. At the gathering, Man Singh and Bibi Gulab Kaur realized the harsh reality of how badly Indians were treated, even in countries like America and Canada, because of British influence. As they listened to the words of the Ghadar leaders, they were deeply moved, inspired, and they pledged to become a part of the Ghadar movement and serve their country. However, after a few days of joining the movement and participating in Ghadar activities, it is said that Man Singh's newfound inspiration started to fade away. On the other side, Bibi Gulab Kaur started contributing to the group's activities with all her heart. And every passing day strengthened her resolve to go back to her own country to serve her motherland and its people. A few days later, they got to know that a ship called SS Korea was to sail towards India, and on board was a group of Ghadar movement members along with many other Indians traveling back to India. She decided it was time for them to go back to India and submit themselves to the cause of the nation's independence. However, to Gulab Kaur's shock, her husband Man Singh blankly refused to go back. Instead, he reminded Gulab Kaur about the reason why they had come to Manila in the first place. The American dream continued to lure him, while the racial discrimination that Indians had to face abroad didn't seem to matter much to him. To counter her husband, Gulab Kaur pleaded with him and reminded him about the British torture meted out to fellow Indians back home and poor treatment of the fellow Indians abroad, adding that this will continue till they stand up and work for their own freedom. Gulab Kaur attempted to remind her husband of the fate of Indians settled in countries like America, Canada, London, saying, "Have you forgotten, Man Singh, how we Indians are treated in these countries? These Americans, Canadians, Britishers don't call us by our own names, but with labels like slaves, blackies, coolies. They insult us at the drop of a hat, and our brothers and sisters are discriminated against every day. If all was good for us Indians, why would people like Lala Hardayal Singh and Sardar Sohan Singh Bakana form Gadar while they were already staying in America? That's because they wanted to put an end to all this and get us Indians our respect back. And when we now have the beautiful opportunity to make a difference and contribute in this small way towards this movement, you want to go back to America and work there? Do you want to live a life filled with humiliation just to be in a foreign land and earn some dollars? Shame on you. However, Man Singh didn't flinch and nothing seemed to move him. Gulab Kaur started to feel frustrated with him as he was just adamant on going to America. Finally, she said something which her husband would have never imagined, nor could have ever thought of. She told her husband, Man Singh, go. Pursue your American dream. Live in America, earn dollars, put your head down when they call you slaves and niggers. But with my pride intact, I go back home, join my fellow Indians and serve my country because now I know that's what I was born to be. Man Singh couldn't believe his ears. He was surprised, shocked and disappointed in his wife. He retorted in anger, reminding her sarcastically about the fact that when she would go back to India alone, without her husband, people would sure question her, be nasty to her because a woman without her man didn't seem to have a standing of her own, especially given the times they lived in. However, that didn't seem to bother Gulab Kaur at all. She was no ordinary woman anymore. She was now a woman on a mission to serve her country and participate in the Gadar revolution. Leaving her husband behind in Manila, Gulab Kaur boarded SS Korea, the ship that sailed from America that was currently docked at Manila and would soon head towards Indian shores. Gulab Kaur joined her fellow Gadarites on the ship and started on the journey back home. If for a moment her husband thought that his wife would be remorseful and sad that she was alone, he would have been highly mistaken. Gulab Kaur, far from being sad or scared, was so charged up that all through the journey she argued, debated with, and inspired so many other Indians on board that ship to join the Gadar movement, rise from their slumber and work towards earning their freedom and respect back. The Indians aboard that ship, who seemed callous about leading lives as British slaves, had to face Bibi Gulab Kaur's wrath as she removed her bangles and asked them to wear those and put their heads down in shame for the rest of their lives. Finally, when their ship reached India and they were to deboard at the Kolkata seaport, she alongside fellow Gadar members had to be very careful. British soldiers were present in strong numbers at the port and were intensively checking every Indian boarded on that ship. She quickly devised a plan to fool British soldiers and reported herself to the soldiers as the wife of a fellow Gadarite, Sardar Jeevan Singh. To ensure that the soldiers didn't suspect them, she went along with Jeevan Singh to Punjab. But instead of going to their respective villages, both of them went to another fellow Gadarite, Amar Singh's village, called Kotla in Hoshiarpur district. And this is where they held fort and led the Gadar movement for Hoshiarpur, Jalandhar and Kapurthala districts in Punjab. Jeevan Singh, who by now was like her own brother, soon died a martyr. But Gulab Kaur continued her efforts and courageously continued to inspire Indians against the British evils. Gulab Kaur had a very powerful voice and her words tugged at people's hearts. Therefore, she was given the responsibility of distributing the Gadar newspaper and pamphlets. While doing that, she would get her messages across and inspire other Indians to join their movement and make it stronger. The Ghadar movement was getting popular with every passing day, and British forces just wanted to nip the problem in the bud. To the Britishers' advantage, one of the Ghadar fellow members, Kirpal Singh, was lured by the British forces and he turned hostile against his own people. He passed on the critical information about an upcoming and a major Ghadar plan. And soon, with that information, British forces managed to capture most of the Ghadar soldiers. Some were sent for rigorous imprisonment and others were hanged to death. Bibi Gulab Kaur was also sentenced to 2.5 years of rigorous imprisonment and was housed in Lahore Fort Jail. She was subjected to inhuman torture during this time. Made to sleep on ice logs, was belted mercilessly by British soldiers and had to endure so much more. She took it all in her stride and never buckled down. Despite being imprisoned, she was like a lioness, a brave heart, and a true Ghadari. Finally, in 1931, Bibi Gulab Kaur left this world, inspiring thousands of Indians, jolting them to rise and shine and work for their own freedom and for their nation's independence. Bibi Gulab Kaur, like many other lesser talked about martyrs, earned her reward and remuneration by paving the way for India's ultimate independence in 1947. Being Indian and being a woman, don't we owe a pension to her by becoming responsible, thankful, and grateful citizens of free India? And most of all, shouldn't we be grateful and thankful to all the ladies who struggled so much to to allow us to live the free life that we are living now? Let's take inspiration from them, and as a giving back gesture, let's form a strong society where a woman supports another woman. And with this thought, I would like to conclude this episode. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind, धन्यवाद. आपका दिन शुभ हो.